So, Dolores, could you tell me the most infuriating thing humans ever did to you?
The most? I couldn't pick one. The years that piss me off the most are usually the years I sold well.
Normally, that would be a compliment.
Normally, yes. That blender was in tears, saying I'd matured at the perfect moment. It's the best batch yet, he said.
That sounds pretty good, though.
And then, in 3 months, the whole lot was dumped onto the market. Great for Instagram, makes a buzz, they said. Only the photos of the bottle traveled the world.
So it wasn't the whiskey, it was the label that went places.
I'll never forget that blender's proud face when they called me a good seller. Yet they never thanked me.
So, being sold doesn't equal being happy, does it?
Of course not. When I sell, it means my whiskey gets taken away from me. And most of them ordered mine just to use mine as a talking point.
So instead of being enjoyed, yours were treated like a novelty to consume.
Exactly.
Bright and approachable at first, with an aftertaste that demands the drinker mature a little.
If you're going to give mine a tagline, I won't allow it unless I like it.
Then I'll soften it a bit for your allowance. Friendly on the first sip, but the real relationship starts after that.
Well, better than the first one.
Thank you. By the way, that story about being sold off without a word of thanks. You're still holding on to that, aren't you?
Of course I am. I spent years nurturing that whiskey, and they dismissed it with a single phrase: limited edition.
Then let me do it properly. From here on, I'll listen to everything you want to say.
What's that supposed to be? For a human, you're awfully polite with your introductions.
I want to hear it all. Your complaints about the good selling years, your hopes for how you wanted to be treated. Everything.
And what will you do after hearing it?
When I blend, I won't aim for easy to sell. I'll aim for a whiskey you can be proud of.
I've never heard a human say that before.
I'm probably not a normal human.
Oh, I know. A trainee blender who talks to casks? Anyone normal would be too scared to come near you.
Hearing it put that bluntly does sting a little.
But yes, a human who cares not about how much mine sold, but about how mine want to be drunk. I don't dislike that.
So, does that put me in the potentially trustworthy category?
I won't say completely. Humans just take our precious whiskey away. But compared to other humans, trusting you might be the least terrible option.
I'll take that better than the others.
Don't get weirdly happy about it.
Then I'll celebrate modestly. Dolores, trust level toward Lewis MacLeod, slightly increased.
That page, make sure you don't erase it.
Understood. For the next blend, I'll make sure your sweetness is treated with the respect it deserves.
Honestly, such a strange human.
Even sweetness, warped by too much success, softens a little when you actually listen to it. Keeping the casks in a good mood. Grandad's blending notes never mentioned that job, but here in number 7, it seems to be part of the work. Right then, Henri. What's the biggest pride inside you?
Ye ask for pride, and then demand I squeeze it into only one. That alone is so very human.
Feels like I'm getting scolded already.
I am not angry. I am only observing your habit of wanting to simplify. Humans chase easy to understand at once. Life and drink are not meant to be like that.
So, something we can live with. Stays hard to read.
Oui, things ye cannot understand on the first sip. Things ye still cannot reach on the second, on the third. That is a proof. It is worth keeping company for a long time.
A flavour that doesn't finish in one sip.
And you, who cannot even drink it, what do you plan to understand exactly?
That one hits, eh?
Even among humans, no creature is more contradiction than a teetotal trainee blender. A tongue that cannot taste complexity, trying to speak of complexity.
So I've been making my ears and my notebook do the tongue's job instead.
To understand drink with ears, As an experiment, it is interesting and also ridiculous.
Can I take that as 50% compliment, 50% insult?
60-40 insult.
Right, then I've no choice but to claw it back from there. Henri, your complexity. How does it feel to you from the inside?
To me, you say?
Before humans slap the label complex on it, the part you yourself think is your core. That's what I want you to tell me.
So when I held wine in France, what I drank in was easy and glamorous flavor. With one sniff, they would say, "Ah, delicious," and feel satisfied. That was considered a compliment. It was not bad. It's me, unsatisfied.
So it was simplicity that gets consumed in a moment.
Oui, the praise and the drink itself, to me it was boring. Since I came here, I grew another face. Not sherry sweetness, not peat smoke, a restless shadow moving between them.
A shadow that belongs to nobody.
Humans call that complexity, but most tongues, they throw it away with one word: confusing.
Aye, folk tend to slap on the label, hard to get equals off flavour.
Exactly. So I do not trust human judgment very much. And certainly not a human like you, who cannot drink one drop to understand the complexity of my drink.
Fairly honest, aye.
Honesty is one of the few virtues a cask can have.
These are pages for Fergus, Pete, and Dolores. Cheerful old man plus quiet resignation. Salt, smoke, and self-sacrifice. Sweetness, twist.
Do not play poet. Your notes, they are pretentious, and it grates.
I get that. So I've made a proper translation section as well. Sherry derives sweetness with a dry finish. A long, lingering salinity in the aftertaste. Sweetness that opens in one sip, yet runs deep. On taking their own stories and fitting them into labels humans can use, And my odd wee metaphors get stuck in the middle of that.
Your metaphors are indeed strange, but at least you are not trying to finish it in one word.
Folk who fit in one word, or casks, aren't in this.
Very well. I will indulge your experiment, understanding with years. Continue your questions.
Then again, what's the biggest plaid in your spirit?
Complexity, but not the easy-to-like complexity humans prefer.
Hard to explain, yet it hits later.
We, in human words, a taste that does not change the day's mood. It changes a human's long time.
Not the day's mood, but the person's long time that stays. So, not just something you can't forget overnight, but something that makes you remember 10 years later.
That phrasing is not displeasing. 40, 60, I will call it praise.
A cask that's proud of its complexity is the one that doubts human easy answers the most. But sometimes, just by not slapping a quick label on it, it opens its door a wee bit. Maybe my job is to pack as many words as I can into that tiny crack that opens.